Hello. Hey, hey, hey. My name is Jessica, and this is Jay Gilly, Psychic Medium Tarot. Welcome back. Um, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe. It helps me out in the algorithm. And yeah, so let's get started. I woke up really early this morning, like 4 a.m., and I got a lot of random channelings from Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to need all of you guys to help on the scavenger hunt of validations today. So we're going to get into it. I looked up a couple of interesting facts and connections that I channeled, but let's get started with how I woke up. So I heard the song Mrs. Robinson from that old movie, The Graduate. Here's cheers to you, Mrs. Robinson. So I looked at the lyrics, and those were really significant and interesting. I think my prediction is that Mrs. Robinson, Tyler's mom, has some buried facts or evidence. There's a key thing coming out in the next couple of days, I imagine, or that will be leaked. It had to do with secrets. I heard this name has been kind of following me for the last week now, and I thought it was connected to some of the personal readings I was doing, and it didn't belong to anybody. So I'm going to throw it out here because I heard the name this morning again, and the name was Mia. Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining today. Okay, so then I heard Frank Turek's name, which I realized in the last live. Frank Turek's the guy that I was like, thought was really suspect. I mean, they all are, let's be honest. But Frank Turek, the way he recounted his harrowing story. Hi, Anna Marie. How he retold his harrowing story. I don't know. It just seems so sensationalized. It seems so fake in his energy. And whenever someone stood up in the audience, I watched one of the students, or no, it was an older female, stood up in the audience and questioned him about the logistics and the facts. He kind of like dismissed her and like almost scolded her. It was very like defensive in his energy. I don't know. It was just extremely telling. You could read it all in his energy. Okay, so the weird thing that I got here was Charlie said LASIK surgery. And I was like, what? And I just kind of sat there waiting for like dots to be connected by him. And I got a vision of those funny looking. I mean, it looks like Frank Turek wears like safety goggles for glasses, right? They're a bit weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like his wife should like question his fashion sense before he leaves the house. Just my humble opinion. But yeah, it looks like he's going out to chop a tree or like do yard work or something. I don't know. Anyway, I was looking at the goggles in the vision and I was like, we'll call them goggles. So I was like, yeah. Well, if he had LASIK surgery, why would he be wearing goggles? Right? Why would he be wearing these like glasses? And then I heard Peter Thiel. So isn't Peter Thiel like connected to Palantir and things like that? I know he's like considered, I know there's a conspiracy theory that he's like his letters spell the reptile, right? But he's also like really heavily indoctrinated in AI, correct? And like, you know, getting everybody's metadata, right? Metadata. So there was like this connection there, and he was like, look it up. And I have to be honest with you, I didn't look it up before I came here, but I'll look it up at the end of the show. Remind me, guys. So he said something about LASIK eye surgery. And I was like, huh? And he was like, look it up, Peter Thiel. So I was like, maybe there was a feeling that I got that like there was a connection, a deal made, something about metadata. Now, I heard him show me a vision of Frank Turek coming to his house and opening the door, and I saw he as Frank Turek was coming to the front door, he like had to take care of something and was like trying to turn around to scream or like yell to the house, back to the house. And I heard in my inner ear Charlie Kirk say, Frank Turek was singing and chanting, doing some type of spell work. I wish I would have known. Like, I didn't realize he was singing and chanting. And at the time, I thought it was weird. And I was like, yeah, that is weird. So apparently, he came and had this weird interaction at Charlie's home. And Charlie couldn't get over the fact that he was chanting and singing. So there's that. Then there's a connection to this Mia name. I don't know. I think it's just a validation of something. And then I'm going to preface this and I'm going to say allegedly, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just a humble psychic medium and just feel like the information, if I'm getting it, the information needs to get out there. So I said, let's just cut to the chase. Like, who do you consider the schmiller, the schmurderer? Like, who would you, if you had to sum it up in one name, because obviously this involved a lot of people to take, to work this out, to pull it off. I don't know why I was about to say take, but, and I just heard BB. So I'll let you fill in the blanks there. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Now, today or yesterday, this is my like 13th tire within a year that I've had to replace because of a nail, which I'm sorry, but you don't run into that many nails when you stay on the roads and drive maybe like an average, at the most, 15 miles a day. And I work from home. So, yeah, allegedly. And I'm really tired of getting new tires. So I just want to put that out there. I very much want to live. And if anything happens to me, yeah, there's something suspect going on there. Okay. The next thing that I got was that they're trying to bait Candace Owens into sharing too much information and texts so that maybe she's roped into something or has to testify. I don't know if she's already going to be a witness or whatever, but there's something that they're trying to rope her into, and then they're using emotional means to bait her. And so there was a warning about that. And then it coincides with like they're also trying to do this goodwill tour of like, I don't know, it almost felt like he was like showing me there was like 25 character references for Erica Kirk, like that they were like trying to put out in the media and like, I don't know, clean up her image, which if you have a higher IQ, you're going to see right through the BS, right? And so I kept asking him, I was like, so what is the main message? Like, what do you want to use me for here? Like, I don't know why you're giving me these weird messages. I don't know about LASIK eye surgery. I don't know who Mia is. Um, the Graduate song, Mrs. Robinson, came up, and those lyrics, I encourage you to go look up the lyrics because they're just fascinating. And his answer and reply to me was stay unpredictable. They're trying to switch everything to digital metadata. So it once was all owned by the elites through stocks, our souls, bartering, trading, all this stuff, how they made money, how to control us. They're trying to get us programmed so much so that they can like reset and hit the button, like restart and go back in time in history. So this is also why they're trying to go, the stock market is dying and crashing and they're switching to digital currency. But if you stay unpredictable and sovereign, decentralized, you find clarity in your acts. Do you get my drift? Do you see where I'm going with this? So he said, don't lose focus on the children and the victims. So that is, I think, the ultimate why, and I will gladly take him up on that because that is absolutely my mission as well. That's the only reason why I'm sharing this information. So he said, don't lose focus on the children. Now, I did go look up Frank Turek. I think it's Frank Turek, the guy that spoke. He wears those weird goggles. And Dr. Frank Turek, I think is his name. Okay, so I didn't even get down the rabbit hole too far. I went and looked up like the headline articles for Frank Turek online with like the New York Post and the Washington Post. And the title was Charlie Kirk's mentor, Frank Turek, describes his final harrowing moments in ambulance. He was looking past me into eternity. And I thought, wow, what an interesting choice of words. You know, all this talk about time travel and the Mandela effect. It just seemed a little bit coincidental. So I go and I plug in this title in the New York Post, this article title in Germatonator. And guess what it equates to? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So of course, I'm like, oh, I bet you anything we're going to find something about the Mandela effect or time travel in a breakdown analysis of the old Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. And yes, I can confirm it's all over TikTok. Mandela effects with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I found that super, super interesting. What else? I got a lot today. Okay. Now, I went and tried to watch Baron Coleman's video, and like, God bless him. There's like so much amazing information. I only got like 10, 20 minutes in because I couldn't get past the fact that everything I was seeing in the prelim hearing, information, evidence, footage, it was all programming. I could see the ridiculousness of the programming, and it was just all a stage. Like, for instance, let me pull this up. in this shot here, blue and red, a blue and red car. It seemed like they were trying to program us for civil war, trying to program emotional wars. And that was the big message I got from him today. Just a lot of programming, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of, I don't even know what to call it, goodwill tours of ridiculousness. So yeah, so put QQQ in the chat. I want to hear all your thoughts and get your feedback because I know y'all have been following this way closer than me. Y'all have the facts. And yeah, what are your thoughts on what I channeled? Let's see. Let's go back to the top. What's everyone saying? Hi. They are weird. Yes, I agree. Hi, Sam. Oh, Mystic Mama. Hi. Thanks for coming. Hi. Yes, I did. I did. I came here kicking and screaming. This chose me. I did not choose it. I got roped into less than desirable circumstances. I'll say. Hello, just popping in. I'm on a short break from training. We'll watch the replay this evening. All right, Tamara. Thanks for coming. Okay, Mystic Mama says Turk does seem dark. I mean, his monologue addressing students about his harrowing moments with Charlie, I don't know. Just something I didn't stomach well about, like, I don't know, him sensationalizing it. Was he the preacher that came to bless him and Erica? No, actually, I got it was Frank Turek, but that would be like a good assumption. I would be interested to see if Frank Turek is a Freemason because I got he was like a kind of high level up Freemason. And that was like the vision and feeling download I got this morning when he was giving me all the LASIK information. There's something significant about LASIK surgery. I don't know if Frank Turek had LASIK surgery or I don't know. There's something significant about that. Lord only knows because I'm sure that's not public information. I would assume not, but maybe someone mentioned it on a podcast somewhere. I don't know. Yes, it's Mercury retrograde. Gosh, I know. Any technological difficulty that can go wrong will. You're healthy, you're happy, you look forward to tomorrow. Yes. Did you see Lance Twiggs on video this morning? He looked demonic. No, I didn't. I have been hearing a lot about Lance Twiggs, but that was the only thing. That's the first time I've heard this guy's name. Who is it? Yes, please hit that like button. Show your support. Your eyelashes are beautiful. It would look more beautiful if you increase the weight of eyelashes. Oh, thanks. They're my real eyelashes. So, yeah, I don't know how you can increase the weight, but not too worried about it. But thank you. It's a psyop. Yeah, the whole thing is just designed for us. It's a way to harvest our loosh. And I think the bigger thing here is, almost looking at it like a comedy. I just saw that a lot of people under Andrew Colvett and Candace Owens, like public feud on X, there was a trend where everyone started like commenting really, really funny comments. And I just found it like, oh, yes, Everyone's waking up. Like, you got to find humor in it and not give it energy, because the more you give the emotions to it, the more that they win, right? And so if you kind of like steer away from it and like use sarcasm as I don't know, a defense mechanism, it kind of raises the vibration, raises the bar, so to speak. I watched a live about Blake Neff talking to a bunch of internet creators from all sides of the case. He didn't remember. Okay, so I did see this. Now let me tell you, Blake Neff sounded like a teenager that you caught sneaking out and like didn't have a good rebuttal at all. Like, he sounded so caught, like really defensive. Like, you know, when someone's caught in a lie, they're like, well, I don't know. You should know. Why wouldn't you know that kind of thing? Like, that's what he sounded like to me. It was so obvious that he was like, knew he was on the hot seat, and he knew he was bombing and couldn't recover, and he knew it. He could feel it, and he just started going, you know, the energy started elevating, and he just would get more defensive. Yeah. He sounded flippant and annoyed. Yep. Frank is former Navy. He's probably Freemason. Well, that makes sense, because the Navy is also connected to, you know, the Montauk Project, all that stuff they claim. I read the Montauk Project, the books, and in the books it says that there were a lot of experiments on 14 to 16-year-old blue-eyed boys with blonde hair that had an aptitude for psychic abilities and time travel. And they would interestingly enough, they would find a psychic to put in a chair and connect. They apparently needed the psychic as the vacuum or portal opener for time travel. And what it seemed like in the books for the Montauk Project was that they were trying to follow Jesus back in time to like hijack his DNA, his blood. And of course, Jesus was on to him the whole time. So, and that, as we know, the Montauk Project went a little bit awry. And I think it's like a really hazardous, you know, locked down place still. And, you know, word on the street amongst psychic mediums is that the reason Long Island and what is it called? Long Island has like the most per capita like psychics is because of the Montauk portals being opened and the frequencies that were subjected to mothers that were pregnant around those times. So, interesting fun fact. So yeah, it would make sense to me, because the Navy is also connected to that in the Montauk Project and the Philadelphia experiment. And apparently the Navy's like all space travel and alien intel and research and time travel and all that stuff. So yeah, long story short, makes sense. Alex Clark, the host of Culture Apothecary, associated with Turning Point USA, has publicly shared that she underwent LASIK surgery. Okay. Interesting. Give us more, Sam. Who is Alex Clark? Oh, wait. Okay. With Turning Point USA. So was she really close with like Charlie? Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if she knows a Mia. That would be fascinating. Tyler Robinson boyfriend. Oh, is that the guy with like the furry hoodie? Yeah, that was such a ridiculous photo. I did also see Andrew Kolvat's most recent video just now. and about like he was like, "Oh, what about the university and blah 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 blah." He also looked very defensive, kind of like Blake, sounded like Blake Neff a little bit, like trying to steer. It was a very articulate gaslighting. We'll say that. Like, you know, kind of like what a boyfriend would do when he's caught as well, cheating or going to a third party, right? Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's just so obvious. You could see right through it. And I think he showed a picture of a guy with a hoodie on, and it just seems so obvious that they're trying to like, I don't know, showcase like sexual habits or sexual deviance. I don't know. It's just the whole thing is just so weird and coded, and it's just like I can't believe these people uh are in such influential positions, right, in the media. And this is what they choose to use it for. I don't know. Lance was Tyler Robinson's roommate and alleged furry lover. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And of course, they have to put furry lover. Why can't you just put like his school picture? Come on, like you know what I mean? It's just they're trying to character assassinate, right? And like they're trying to get everybody to like focus on that instead of the fact that like Baron Coleman, Candace Owens have all the facts and evidence you need to put someone in jail for this killing. Schmilling, I'm gonna say. So yeah. It's totally a comedy of errors. Yeah. 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 And the fact that they're still not getting arrested, the proper people aren't getting arrested or taken out of powerful positions. That's the full disclosure, right? Like knowing that we're being run by PDFs and not so good mafia people. Did you read the comments of the Sean Ryan episode? I think that's what I'm talking about. I saw like a compilation of the really funny comments, and I had a good belly laugh. Really funny. Like I loved it. I was like, wow, there is some hope for, the high IQers. Hopefully it catches on like and spreads like wildfire. Yes, that's what I said. He sounded like a teen girl getting caught sneaking out. Yep. Mm-hmm. And like if you know you're getting on like a group chat like that, you're being recorded and going to be highly listened to, like word for word. They're going to be like white on rice, like just wanting to hear you better have a story. You better be on it. It better be to a T. Didn't think that one through. Like idiots. I'm convinced that the people of the cabal and like sadists, it's like the second they sell their soul or sign that contract, they get dumber. They get like amnesia. It's just like they can't even keep up with their lies. It's kind of comical. He was trying to play a victim. Yeah. Then I saw the part where he was like, "Oh, I was behind him in the SUV on the way to the event, and then I got there earlier than him." Like that, it didn't make sense. Okay. Why blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys? I wonder. Well, the interesting part is that with eugenics and the Epstein files, I do believe that Epstein was like particularly funding specifically for blonde-haired, blue-eyed fundies, we'll call them. Yeah, I just heard Peter Thiel again and clairaudiently. So there's something significant there. I know that those boys were trespassed on too by one of the officers involved. Wow. Yeah, again, and let's go back to the Mrs. Robinson song that I woke up to. I feel like Mrs. Robinson, Tyler's mom, I think she's going to crack. There's going to be some mistake she makes or leaks. That was the feeling that I got. Also, I had a vision of Candace laying down in the fetal position with an aqua scarf, floral scarf, silk scarf. And she had a little girl. I'm assuming it was her little girl because it looked like her, kind of curled up in the same position. And the download I got with that, or clairsentient feeling, was that her little girl was also getting messages from Charlie in the dream state. Like Candace and her little girl are like clairvoyantly getting so many messages in the dream state from Charlie right now. That's what I was picking up. And I do have to say, I feel like he is warning her about sharing too many screenshots and getting roped into something. It's like they're baiting, TPUSA is baiting her into something for the trial. So, and she's obviously naturally emotionally about it. She's been doing great about like keeping her thoughts separate from her emotions, but yeah, I felt he was really worried about that. Yeah, oh, I wrote this. I forgot to mention this. Ben Shapiro and Andrew Colvat are trying to steer focus to TR's accomplice. Pay attention to the imagery they choose. So Tyler Robinson. Yeah, okay, so we covered that. Again, there's blue-red symbolism all over the place. I think they're all trying to create division and also like a war mindset, politically and globally. So it's just like red pill, blue pill, like programming in everything. And you can find it in the words they use, harrowing, the Mockingbird news. There was like this, I don't know, goodwill tour, we'll call it, with Erica, where everyone was sharing the dumbest stories, like about the tissue and Danae Branch. Come on. Like, they really think we're dumb, huh? They really think we're dumb. Connect to Pleiadian ancestry. Yeah, Tamara. And remember, I talked about the Pleiadians in the first channeling with Charlie Kirk and why they targeted Erica and intercepted somehow. So that's really interesting. Yep. Could Mia relate to something being MIA with military language? It could. That is a really good point. I did not think about this. Mystic Mama, you're a genius. This is why I need you guys. Yeah, that could be it. Let's see. Let me pull some cards. Is this a person, Mia? Or is this referencing? Oh my God, you're right. I got no for the truth. And Four of Wands upright and passion. Yes. So missing in action. Who could this be? Who are you referencing? But I will say I heard Mia. So someone connected to Erica. That's what I'm getting. For money. And I honestly thought that they were going to try and get us to play dumb and believe that Erica like somehow got pregnant with Charlie's third child or something before he passed away. I had this inkling that they were going to try and do that, and I would have been like, "Oh, come on." But I don't know. I haven't seen anything about Erica being pregnant, thank God. I think Twigs is an agent, like most of these people orchestrating it all. I think they're all getting paid. Yeah. I think also these are innocent young people that are just pawns being mind controlled, and MK Ultra as well. And it's probably connected to whatever their parents have agreed to. Because there's also something with Miss Robinson. Oh, and with Frank Turek, and when he was visiting, and they said something about chanting and singing, and the doorbell. Something significant about the doorbell. Now, I know personally that Ring cameras, they hack into those and clear the footage immediately. Did it to me. So I don't know. I would find a different like camera solution other than a Ring doorbell because yeah, it's one of the corrupt ones. Companies. Mind Wars, yeah. There are non-stop distractions to the files. Not enough people are being held accountable. Right. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys could have to do with trying to find Pleiadian human crossbreeds. Hybrids, yeah. Eggstein was looking for fallen angels too. I mean, I think Eckstein knows. That's a great name for him. I think that Eckstein knows who the fallen angels are. Personally. Oh my God, just got chills. About what? Do tell. Let me know. Hi, Jess. Did you hear what Candace said about Peter Thiel? How he owns an island as well? Well, you don't say. Not surprised. And that he had a baby through surrogacy. And when the baby was born, he was very detached from the baby. Interesting. Did he have LASIK eye surgery as well? Just kidding. Does EK wear colored contacts in her high school photos? Her eyes look brown. In pics from her early 20s, they're a really different shade of blue. Just curious. That would explain the shift in the cloning, the Pleiadian stuff that I had channeled weeks back or like a month back. Let's see. Does Erica Kirk wear colored contacts? Are her eyes blue? Okay, I do think she wears colored contacts to enhance the color. However, right now they are blue. Let's see if they were once brown. I gotta know they were not brown. So, interesting find. I heard something about Erica's son not being Charlie's. She hardly ever mentions him. It's always Gigi. Yes, that's what I've been channeling since the start, is that I don't feel like the son is DNA wise biologically Charlie's. Whose could it be? I don't know. If it's not AK, then it's someone that looks like him because that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And it even came up on the sun card, which this is my sun. The Page of Pentacles is my sun card. It looks like him in my mind's eye, but it's kind of zoomed out. And it looks like Erica kind of had a type up until Charlie. Like they all kind of looked alike, her ex-boyfriends to me. But it's someone from her past is what I'm getting, that they continued a relationship. Maybe it died down when they got married in the beginning of their marriage, but I'm seeing she saw someone the entire time. There's 2 people that she saw, but like the entire time. So it might have been Andrew Colvat. I know in my last session I channeled, I didn't think that the father of the child was Andrew Colvat, but I'm seeing a vision with this now. And whoever this is, if it's not Andrew Colvat, it looks a lot like him. So there's that. Oh yeah, no, I got you, Tamara. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jean. Thanks for the reminder. I know. Oh, yeah. Thank you. No, thank you for pointing that out to me. Cause like sometimes I'm like right here. I try to stay like really present and like detached from it. So the information just comes in kind of like a remote viewer just gets a target. I try not to get swayed. I try to go in blind and be as authentic as possible as I'm channeling the information. Mystic Mama says reptilians seem obsessed with blonde hair, blue eyed people. Might have to do with altering DNA. Yeah, it might have to be why it might have to do with why I'm getting gang stalked and I've had to change like 13 tires now within the last year. It's really, really annoying. And also, so Matrix Destiny, your personal year number, all the numerology stuff. So like your natal chart, your life path, Destiny Matrix number, all that stuff, that would be considered metadata that they're trying to collect on us. And the quicker that you can figure out what your life purpose is through that numerology stuff, but also transcend it and be less predictable, less indoctrinated in the program and away from corporate America, the system, the corporations, things like that all around the world that are keeping us enslaved. The more you step into your purpose, the more that you rewrite the history, that we don't get reset back in time. And it's just interesting that CERN also is turned off right now as well. It's almost like they're really trying to like slingshot us back in time. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Mandela effect. They're trying to, there's just too many synchronicities I find with this case. And there's been a lot of hacking as well. Just so much hacking, so many data breaches. It's like we don't know whether we're coming or we're going. So that's confirmation motorcycle. No, that was not my stomach, if anyone was wondering. But yeah, so it's so important not to be predictable and to get detached or like extricate yourself from dependency on the system monetarily and finding sovereignty. So important to get on your life path spiritually and to think for yourself, because even now our phones are being listened to. Peter Thiel's got his little reptilian appendages and everything. Maybe her baby belongs to the guy with the lip tattoo of the pizza Cabot. Let's see. I gotta know. He was paid off in the process, though, for something. You know, I would like reckon that they probably save DNA profiles on all of us, like, and cloning and stuff like that, and eggs. Like, I'm sure they harvest eggs without our knowing. It's, when they go in and you go to an OB-GYN. Oh, I don't know what happened. Wait. Oh no, I can't see anymore. I just like zoomed in. Okay, here we go. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Technical difficulties. It's Mercury retrograde. It says, doesn't Candace have a friend or named Mia, a cousin or sister? For some reason, I associate Mia with Candace. Me too. Me too. That was the feeling that I got. And Mia was like some type of validation for sure. It also, I do have very layered symbols that come through my readings. They can have double meanings and layers, and it could also mean missing in action. But the first thing I heard was Mia. It sounded like a name. It sounded like a female close to the situation, like a friend or confidant that was sitting on some significant information. It is so hot. Yes, at Patricia, her cousin, who is her best friend and makeup artist. Okay. Okay, there we go. I've never seen anything said about Mia in public, so that's fascinating. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go turn on the AC because I'm like about to melt. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. It was just way too hot. I'm like, okay. I bet the father is Tyler JT Massey or Cabot Phillips. Both have similar coloring to CK. Okay, let's see. JT Massey. Ooh. I got a yes for that one. Cabot Phillips. No. Okay, so the surefire yes I got was for Tyler Massey. Interesting. Don't know who that is. QQQ is Lance Twiggs, the shooter. To me, their facial profiles look so similar. I gotta know. And I gotta say, I saw part of the footage zoomed in on the person getting off the roof. They didn't look like they were too much in a hurry. If you just unalived someone and you were really worried for your life, wouldn't you be a little bit like booking it a little bit more? I don't know. That's just me. Lance Twiggs is supposedly the boyfriend of Tyler Robinson. Yeah, yeah. We just established that one. Who is alleged to be the shooter? Oh, let's see if I get any initials. I just heard clairaudiently there's a lot of stand-ins. The whole thing was kind of choreographed and executed, like people were switched in and out constantly. That's what I'm getting. And then also Tyler Robinson, didn't he have like different limps on the way in and the way out? The whole thing, it's just, it feels like they got character stand-ins, and That's what I'm picking up here with the shooter, like the footage. It looks like multiple different people. I'm also getting a reference to an H initial. An ego. I heard ego. This person has a big ego. Are we being brainwashed by FBI and CIA, etc.? Yes. Yes. Tough mini. Gemini, I mean. Tough mini. Tough Gemini. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, everything. I mean, Hollywood is owned by CIA. That would be the reference that I got to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Heavily programmed kids movies, things like that. In my mind's eye, I just saw 3, 2, 1. That's significant. Did EK know TR before September 10th? Did Erica Kirk know Tyler Robinson before September 10th? I'm getting a no. And I think that that was like intentional, if I might add. I think that was intentional so they could not be connected in any way, shape, or form when a preliminary hearing and trial came about. That seemed very, very intentional. Harple. Let me look up Harple again. I forget who that is. Gosh, I need to be better about this. Oh, is that the guy that's told that story? The groundbreaking evidence? Okay. Well, then that would also. Okay. You know what? That's why I'm just answering and not even thinking about it, just like channeling. Remember, I channeled that he really died in the car, and then we got an H name. That would be the shooter. No, that makes sense. That tracks. Good eye, Sam. I think that they had several contingency plans in place that went off simultaneously. Yeah, me too. I mean, honestly, look, the furry boyfriends, I don't think they could pull off such a well choreographed plan. Honestly, they look like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. No offense, boys, but seems like just like the older magician Freemasons are going behind them and filling in all the facts so it seems like it's convincing, you know. Do EK's outrageous sparkly outfits symbolize something? Ridiculousness. Let's see. I don't know. I just saw a picture of Elvis in my mind's eye. So do with that what you will. That symbolism. I just saw Elvis. She did have some like bell bottoms like Elvis on with that were those sparkly pants, right? Weren't they like bell bottoms? Okay, I got a yes. And it has to do with child transport. That's what I'm getting. But in particular, also what I channeled in my other videos is that the purses she wears, mostly that black Birkin bag. I know someone commented about her having a white bag. I don't know why, but I get haunted by a black Birkin, patent leather, or yeah, patent leather and gold hardware. That's something significant and also connected to Russia, something like that. Do you see my overall situation changing soon? All right, we'll jump off just momentarily, Shaw, for yours. Let's see. Okay, so in about 2 months, your situation will change. I don't know if that's considered soon for you, but what I will say is I'm getting rest and maybe take a step back because you're getting bad advice from friends. That's what I'm getting. Don't trust your friends' advice. So trust your intuition, trust the intuitive nudges you're getting in the dream state, and maybe pull back a little bit, just rest, take it easy, and then you'll be able to spot the opportunities and the wings that are coming in the next 2 months. I do see you almost like going to the opposite ends of where you are, like you're relocating quite soon, but it comes after you slow down. You got to slow down to be able to see it and stop taking bad advice from friends. That's what I'm getting. I hope that helps, Shah. She wears a lot of black. Oh, cute doke. Let's see. Do Erica's rings actually symbolize Freemasonry or some other occult secret society? Let's see. I just got tattoo. Does Erica Kirk have any tattoos that has occult symbolism? Uh, also just got a J initial, like Justin or something like that. Um, I'm getting 3 of the rings do. I don't know how many she wears, but 3 of them do. Yes, have symbolism. Did Ben Shapiro eyebrow man? Thanks, guys. I'm sorry. I should really pay attention more, but like, I don't know what happens to me. I try to keep up with it and my eyes glaze over. I can't do it. And I just have to listen to myself because probably it's probably because I don't want to give them my energy and my loosh, right? So so yeah, thanks for being patient with me. I know I'm kind of all over the place. But that's how you know I'm the real deal. Um have something to do with CK death. Yes. I think he was a man at the top. But if you were here at the start of the show, when I asked Charlie Kirk, also, I do think I'm going to predict and say this on the record. I think Ben Shapiro and Candace are about to have a full on outright tiff, public tiff. I hope not, because I feel like they're trying to bait her. But into sharing screenshots like I had channeled earlier, or what Charlie came to me this morning with when he was playing Mrs. Robinson, the song. But I think they're going to have a public tiff, public spat that really pops off and everybody weighs in on X. And I think he absolutely has something to do with it. But when I asked Charlie, like, who is responsible, like, who would you consider responsible for calling this order? Let's call it. I heard BB. So why does EK keep blatantly lying even when exposed? I'm going to switch decks. They told me to switch decks. All this is allegedly too, by the way. It just reminded me to keep saying that. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. For entertainment purposes only. I got selfish, abusive, low standards in love, power hungry, irrational, driven by power. I didn't really have to pull cards to validate that, huh? And then behind that, even further, deeper, is dealing with trauma. So I'm sure she's had a lot of trauma as a kid, mind control, MK Ultra. It looks like she's been in toxic relationships all of her life. Negativity in the workplace and trying to get ahead. So maybe she has a chip on her shoulder with power dynamics, misogyny, that kind of thing. And the ego won't let her admit defeat. But she has a false sense of security because she's got an entire team of people that keep reassuring her that everything's going to be fine. But I think the majority of the public has clarity on the truth. It's like really hard. So that is the true karma. That's the justice. Losing money and popularity, notoriety. Was EK cheating on CK? Yes, that came through. I got two people. One is the father of the son, is what I picked up. And the other was a long-standing arrangement. So this looks like, honestly, I feel like she has only truly loved one. And that's the person I see is a long-standing affair, like secretive, like, yeah. And I dare say I feel like it's Andrew Colette, but allegedly. Yep. We know she cared more about merch and money. Was Charlie aware she was lying from the start? No. I heard loneliness, so he was really, really wanting to find his person. Feeling isolated, feeling like an outcast. By the way, he told me to title this video Kirkification, which I found funny. I was like, is that a new diagnosis? Okay. It was a brief but intense romance at the start. And so he blindly thought it was authentic, like fell into the trap, is what I'm getting. But it really was just something called in from the top. That's what I'm getting. Is John Bray's explosive mic theory accurate? Is John Bray's explosive mic theory accurate? Yes. Inspired action with the Ace of Wands. Yeah. I'll have to go look that one up. Will Turning Point die off? Let's hope. What a mouthful there, huh? It's going to be the turning point, I'll say. Yes. Yeah, becoming aware of the vipers. Mm-hmm. Was Erica programmed to be an agent from childhood? Was this her destiny? Which deck do I choose? Let's see. Was Erica programmed to be an agent from childhood? Yep. And this is funny. I got the gold foiled tarot. It's not even one of the 78 cards. Cabot Phillips and Andrew Covett. I don't know what I'm asking. Hello from Australia. Hi, 1981 Cherry. Is Erica getting ready for 2028 elections? No. We had a lot of Ace of Wands. Like every Ace of Wands from every deck I have has fallen out today. That is interesting. She's probably giving all of her energy to the trial and trying to do damage control with all her stuff. I feel like there's a threat of leaking stuff. I feel like she probably has pissed off a lot of people in the background with her diva-like ways. And again, I'm hearing Mrs. Robinson again, the song. So very significant. Something is about to get leaked by Tyler Robinson's mom, I feel. That will kind of throw a wrench, or might be planned, premeditated. You never know. With these things, they seem to be. But it just looks like a bunch of people that have half truths and want to hold on to it like it's their Willy Wonka ticket, golden ticket to the top is what I'm picking up. And everyone's like willing, it's like crabs in a barrel. They're all willing to like throw each other under the bus to get to the top of the pyramid. So it's all a stage. It's all sensationalism. It's all who can play the game better, who can have the most power, who can be the best pet. That's what I just heard. So I think she's probably more focused on her image to get to the elections right now, but I don't think it's going to go well. I think everyone's waking up. Did Charlie have romantic feels for Candace? Ooh, great question. I think so, a little bit. Didn't want to rock the boat though and cross the line with friendship because they were such good friends and work colleagues. But yes, they were very similar. Two peas in a pod, I just heard. Let's see. On whose command was Charlie offed? That's what I'm getting is BB. Allegedly. That's what I got this morning, but let's confirm. No argument. Yes. And I got the hanged man. So that confirms it. Yes, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. Thanks. She's answering questions about the Charlie Kirk trial. Yes. Did Charlie realize EK was involved in child? No, I don't think so. I think that's why he's coming to me, honestly. You know, I half expected to see my old car that was apparently dead on one of those parking garage videos. I don't know where that car went. Been looking for it, been researching, trying to find it. Figure out what kind of damage was in this wreck. But anyway, I'm just cracking jokes because this is all so ridiculous. I don't think he did. I think he put together 2 and 2 later on, and that's why he didn't want to do the deal. There's a deal or something with Israel. I can't say that. Shoot, is real. I don't think he knew at the beginning. I think like I said, I channeled he was a little bit isolated and feeling outcasted, feeling I don't think he realized he was targeted. Um, and I think that's probably there is something that he keeps referencing to me about like the last 2 years of his life. It feels like Candace being that true friend that's like going to give it to him straight and tell him what he shouldn't be doing and him doing it anyway and her getting upset and like feeling like she can't trust him. That's the feeling I'm getting. And then on the other side, since I've been talking to him, it's this feeling of territorialness and like so grateful for that like mama bear energy that she had with him because he needed that and he didn't realize he was so surrounded by ops and plants. Like I'm getting the vision of like him like looking up and suddenly being everyone's replaced around him and didn't realize how quickly things had shifted, the whole dynamic, who owned who, the funding, the backing, that kind of thing. Did Erica defraud Charlie on a personal level? I'm going to switch decks. She was competitive with him, I heard. I don't know what you mean by defraud, but like I'm getting that she was competitive in work and went behind him and undid what he did at TPUSA when he was alive as well. Obviously, that's happening now. But when he was alive as well and he didn't know about it. It was almost like they were like painting an illusion to him just to make him happy, is what I'm picking up. And he started having to put together symbolism, codes, secret meetings, secret trips, and whispering. That's what I'm getting. Also something significant about Florida that just popped into my mind. Was Miriam Adelson involved with the Red Room? Red Room? I don't know what the hell this means, but we'll ask it and see what comes through. Miriam involved with the Red Room. Yes, and I got the mask card. Okay. Small hats. Thank you. Good one, Sam. Do Charlie's parents feel like EKTPUSA is involved and that's why they're seemingly keeping their distance? Okay, so they don't feel they know, but the reason they're keeping their distance is because they're overloaded by burdens and intimidation. And I feel like what I'm picking up is that some kind of arm twisting was happening in order to make nice and play like everything's fine for the prelim hearing just recently, and they're really annoyed. That's what I'm picking up. They're really annoyed. I don't know if they've done any press or anything, but they're burnt out. Maybe they're trying to okay, that's what I'm picking up. They're trying to financially burn them out and dry them up so they have nowhere to go but to turn to Erica and her financial means. That's what I'm picking up. That's what I just got. Did Ben S have anything to do with what happened to Charlie? I think that he is someone, I don't think he's at the top of the pyramid, but I definitely think he's this side of the pond that was orchestrating things for sure. But when I asked CK, who technically, if you had to just narrow it down to one person, I got BB at the top. Yes. Ben Shapiro definitely had something to do with it. Old Boy Network, I just heard. Hi, just started watching this. I'll have to go back to the beginning. All right, Patricia. Do you see my leg situation getting better? Yes. In about 14 days, perseverance and luck. Something, maybe you'll stumble upon a remedy or something that helps. Hi, Cam. EK's handler, Stacy Sheridan, tried to grab Charlie's dad's arm on the way into the courtroom, and he dodged her. I would too. Yeah, that was the first time I got that. They're trying to financially kind of squeeze the parents. So they're kind of like helpless or dependent or easily intimidated, and they'll make a deal, which is really sad because with everything else they've had to endure. Popping back into the chat, TJ Massey was EK's boyfriend and fiance prior to CK. He played baseball. Oh. QQQ, did EK have anything to do with Charlie's chain and pendants on that fateful day? I got it. Yeah. Upright Emperor and achievements. Interesting. Working on projects with your partner, creative hobbies, teamwork, leveraging diverse skills, learning more about finances, and the Emperor dominance in the relationship, loss of sensuality, rigid and uncompromising partner, implementing structure, establishing discipline, routine, practicing financial discipline. Fascinating. Oh, that's okay, Tamara. We get the gist. Did DT Jr. have any involvement? So I think he has some involvement with covering up stuff for Erica and making a way for her. I think they're being handled by the same people, little hats. And I think he's a little bit adjacent, like not directly involved, but obviously White House criminal overlords are connected. They're connected with distractions. They're connected with their own agendas and money changing hands and covering up things for their vested interest is what I'm picking up. But whenever I asked Charlie this morning, I was like, who would you say is responsible? I got a clear cut BB. That's what I got. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Good for his parents, though, to shake them off, praying for their protection, though. Me too. Yes, 100%. Jean says, was Natasha Hausdorff involved with orchestrating the Red Room? Read backwards. Read backwards. Huh? All right. I'm just going to answer it blindly because I don't know what what this means. Oh, I get you. I get you. I get you. I got a yes. This number 3 keeps coming up. 3 people at all times were together orchestrating each section of the plan. So let's say, like, I'm getting heavily. I know people are saying that there were 5 people in the car. I think 3 people were doing some shenanigans and covering up whatever, doing something they shouldn't have been in the car. That's why the car ride is so ambiguous. It's like to nail down the exact details is like pulling teeth. But I'm seeing that in each leg of the operation or orchestration, that there was always 3 people on that section, on that chapter, let's say. Oh yeah, there was something too I remember this morning about the red shirts, the maroon shirts. I was asking, I was like, why? Obviously they unpacked that it was Freemason symbolism, but I was just like, why? Why would they want to draw attention to themselves? And I got programming. And that's whenever I also looked at when I picked out the blue and the red car. Let's see. Right here, how in the picture it's blue and red. I mean, and in a lot of the shots, I found like also a blue and red car, like they were programming us blue and red for the political parties. That's a common mind programming in a lot of like movies and Hollywood, things like that. So yeah, I definitely think that the shirts were also programming. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So that was I asked him what the red shirts meant, the maroon shirts, and then that's when he started talking about Frank Turek and the singing and the chanting. And then he said LASIK surgery. So that is significant, that chronological order. And then he was talking about the LASIK surgery. Then he mentioned Peter Thiel. Then he told me, I was like, huh? And he said, go look it up and find the connections. And then when I looked up the Frank Turek headlines in the New York Post, it said he was looking past me into eternity, which I thought was really bizarre. I went and plugged it into the Gematrinator, and it said it equated to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the full title of the New York Post Frank Turek article. So that was the chronology of that this morning. Okay, so maybe Junior is the J initial. I wouldn't say. I don't think so, because I feel like it was a first initial and of a first name, and I felt like if I had to guess, it sounded like Justin. Like there was a reference to Justin. Is EK a soulless individual? I love these. By now, yes. By now, yes, for sure. Let's see what the cards say. Yeah, I got defeat, the 5 of Swords. Then I got independent wealth in reverse. So she's completely owned, handled. Even if she did all this for money, they can take it away in a blink of an eye, right? So sad. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Gosh, y'all are so amazing. Thanks, guys. Today I'm a little bit scattered. It's this Mercury retrograde, so you'll have to excuse me. Today I'm like extra dumb blonde. But okay, that reminds me, red flags. So, what I found fascinating when I was looking up the Frank Turek. I don't know why I said Fred just now. When I was looking up Frank Turek's articles in the New York Post and things, somewhere along the line, I saw that I forget who it was, but someone was in there was like posted in a article that someone was in maybe it was Frank Turk, was in the Hall of Flags. That's what it is. Hall of Flags at UVU. So I went and looked up the Hall of Flags UVU, and it's like that's the programming. So there's a Hall of Flags with the assassination of Lincoln and things like that. It's like tributes. It's like tributes to, I don't know. Go look it up. It's fascinating. Well, let's look it up here. Let's see. Hall of Flags at UVU.
If you're a woman expert between the ages of 40 and 70 and you have a message that you know could.
Well, like literally it just like shut off. That's weird. Okay. Go look up Hall of Flags at UVU. I think what I found was written in that article was that Frank Turek was in the Hall of Flags before something that went down with Charlie, and I was like, interesting that they included that. DT Jr. is coming out with Andrew Colvett pretending like they're finally asking pertinent questions after almost a whole year. Oh, kind of like Andrew Colvett. Like he suddenly wants to know what was wrong with the university security and access to the roof. Like, come on. Come on. What is JD Vance's involvement with EK? That's a great question. I feel like they're in the same predicament. I feel like JD Vance is also being handled by the same people that own Erica. That's what I'm picking up. They have to answer to the same people, I feel. Think of the movie The Shining. Yep. Cam says, who's the bald-headed man driving Tyler's car seen on neighbor's ring camera? Police reports mentions, but no follow-up. Police left out testimony as well. I know, convenient, huh? Convenient that body cam footage runs out, batteries die. I heard double agent. So someone that playing both sides of the fence. A friend, family friend or friend. That's what I'm picking up. Connected to father. To Tyler's father, I mean. Were Charlie's hands in the casket video EK took? Yes. I've looked back to just after Charlie was hit. You can clearly see one security member pass something to another guy there. Could you ask what it was that passed? Immediately, what I saw in my mind's eye was a silver pin, a gadget, but I don't think it really was a pin. It just looked like a pin on the outside. Shiny silver metallic pin. I don't know. Sometimes I pick up remote viewing next to objects, though, or like clues that would be significant. So, yeah, that's just what I saw. What am I picking up in the cards? What do you tell me? Okay, I don't know if this looks like this might be like completely just like trivial information, but important or significant. But this was highly valuable and paid off to get immediately after the whole situation was done. So someone paid big money to acquire this item that he handed over later on. I don't know what this is. I don't know who this is. I hope that helps, Patricia. Justin Strife. Okay. I don't know who that is, but I got a J named Justin earlier. Is there any chance that Seek is still alive? Well, our soul never dies, right? And the way that Spirit explains it to me is like the shifting, they call it the shifting islands. So it's kind of like this place, almost like you can look through a window and right there peer into the lives of your loved ones and watch over them. So it's literally like heaven is literally on top of us or like right next door, like superimposed directly on the physical realm. It's not so much up here. So yeah. So the heavens, he just made me think, I don't know if I should get into that, but he's like trying to get me to explain. So like, you know what they say in the ancient like Syrian texts and stuff, like the heavens are the waters above the firmament, right? The etheric energy and stuff, the thicker waters. So yes, that technically would be called the heavens, but like in the term of like where your loved ones are, heaven is actually here, like where they are spiritually. So yeah, but they get to go and come as they please to the celestial islands and can go to many other worlds, and in fact we can as well. So we have that ability without having to pass away or transition or die. And so that's what I would say is a big message for everyone to really tap into your spirituality and like learning about the internal cosmos that are you, the internal cosmic map that is your anatomy. And like really focusing on health and detoxing nanotechnology and things so that Peter Thiel and whatever Palantir, they can't own us in our frequency and control it like we're robots. You know what I mean? I think this is the last little stretch of like, are we going to make it and branch off and diverge from the old timeline, of, the future self of ourselves, the future selves, the grays, the P52s, right? Try and make better choices, not give over our mind and consciousness to AI and Neuralink. Let's see. Is there any chance that CK is still alive? Oh, yeah, I didn't answer that. So I don't think so. I gotta know. I do feel physically, though, that they probably have collected a lot on his DNA, for sure. I think he's able to time travel. And no one ever really dies. So that's like a 2-part answer to that question. But I definitely think he has some extraterrestrial type of abilities. And that's also why they went after him. But I think they're also going after Candace too. So she needs to be very, very careful. That's definitely what I'm picking up. Just saw that Justin Strife is the COO. Oh, wow. Charlie is the Great Awakening. Yeah, and they're also going to try, they're going to have like different, what's it called? They're going to have different like flow chart plans so that, let's say, we don't go for the Civil War, but we get really, really like, kind of roped in or baited into AI. They got that, like, there's something from every avenue. And then the elites are also fighting for power as well. And like crabs in a barrel. So if you're free and sovereign and like cooking your own food, growing your own food, and you're self-sufficient, you don't need any of their stuff. You got free energy. You've learned how to get free energy. You've learned how to become a sovereign citizen and, get out from debt and things like that and like extricate yourself from the matrix. Yeah, they can't siphon the loosh anymore. They can't use your loosh and harvest your energy anymore. The more you're out in nature, the more you slow down, the more that you don't give energy to their CIA programming and FBI stuff. And all this stuff right now is a stage. All of it. Every single bit of it. Even the lawyer, like when I was listening to the lawyers and the questions, they sound like so juvenile. like you go into the principal's office. And I know it's just a prelim hearing, but I'd be like, where were you on the night of like, you know what I mean? As a lawyer, like, I don't know, but that's just me. In my opinion, CK was first choice for VP, but couldn't be controlled. Yep. I think he was on track, honestly, they were trying to prime him to be president, run for president, I think. Now, possibly EK promised to run as VP. Yeah, JD is president. Yeah. I surely hope not Erica as president. I feel like they probably would love to put her on that pedestal as like the first female president, but she's just not smart enough to carry it. Is DT owned by the same people as JD and EK? I got both a yes and a no. They have like one consecutive owner, handler, that overlaps with all three of them. But I'm picking up the Donald Trump's in a whole nother category, a darker. Yes, and I forgot to answer the question earlier. Does Donald Trump have a clone? Absolutely, yes. Probably a few. But I think there's only really one really good working one that they can rely on because a lot of them glitch out. Freemason pin. I keep seeing some kind of Templar cross gold ring thing. Anything symbolic? Yes. Magicians. Trying to cast spells. Again, remember, for some reason, Charlie kept pointing out to me that Frank Turk, when he came over and rang the doorbell, something about coming to visit him, maybe unexpectedly or something. He was singing and chanting and it threw him off, he said. It threw him off. So he kept talking about that and I didn't know what he was saying. And that's when he said LASIK surgery, whatever. Why did Brian Harple try to gift Sean Ryan his blood-stained backpack? Whew. Y'all are some ninjas. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull this off. Why did Brian Harple try to gift Sean Ryan his blood-stained backpack? It looks like it was a sign of leadership, a symbolic initiation of the truth is what I'm getting. Yeah, because they had to do it in plain sight. A creative flair kind of thing. Something to dramatize and make it more of a show. And in order to get karma off of him, you have to show in plain sight. I don't know. Something like that. So yes, I think the backpack is significant in some way. It's a sign of initiation is what I'm picking up mostly. Hope that helps. Do they have a clone of CK? I'm getting that they have other me's of him. So like they've mixed his DNA. The biggest one I got was Anunnaki. So they've mixed his DNA. There's like an other me of CK with Anunnaki DNA. And then maybe like a Pleiadian one. Or like yeah, that's what I'm picking up. So not fully like 100% identical clone, but that they're mixing it with DNA. And I think that's the whole shtick. That's the whole purpose is because, I don't know, his DNA has something significant in it. So they want to mix it and experiment with it. So I think that's what it's being used for. Did someone hold their hands on his nose or mouth in the car? Great question. No, I think he was probably a little bit shaken already, or I'm hearing like buzzed, not like in the sense like wasted, but like almost electrocuted, like out of it, or whatever explosion happened that hit him on stage destabilized him. Let's say that. That's what I'm getting. So I don't think they had to. Please put cute. Oh, thanks, Mystic Mama. I need to start assigning moderators for you guys. BB cough cough. Yeah. In my opinion, they didn't get EK to be so unlikable. Dark always forgets they are nothing without their light. Yeah, I think that's a testament to how much everyone is waking up and like their psychic abilities are coming online, because if this would have happened probably 15 years ago, I bet you anything everyone would have been like, "Oh, that poor girl," you know? And I think just after like the pandemic and everything, people are not falling for the headlines as much anymore. And rightfully so. Did Frank literally have blood on his hands? I can't say blood. What do we call it? Red stuff, red syrup. Did Frank literally have blood on it? Yes. Physically too. Like, physically in it, like, is what I'm picking up. Frank said he went over to Charlie's condo and went on an hour-long walk with him. Okay, confirmation. Because so what he told me specifically was like there was chanting and significant singing that he found super weird during that visit. And he didn't know why. And that's when he started getting funny feelings and thinking things were off. And he told me that he felt like maybe he was under a trance or some type of spell, some type of magician spell. Like when I look at Frank Turek, I don't know if I said that at the beginning, if I got off on a tangent, but when I look at Frank Turek and I look at his goggles, I think magician. I don't know why. Freemason magician, like grandmaster. Yeah. So Merlin type wizard, warlock type stuff. I don't know why. Just the psychic, just no rhyme or reason. It's just what I pick up. And obviously, like Charlie, like he said something about singing in threes, a chant in threes, and singing in a different language. And like maybe he didn't want to be impolite, but like it was weird. What else? Frank's okay. Yep, we just read that one. Was Victor Marx related to the singing and chanting in any way? Yes. This is also connected to children, possibly of transport, or psychic children as well. Red hands out dancing. Macbeth. All right, guys. I'm a little bit tired from this reading. I'm a little drained. So I think that's my time to, until next time, y'all are awesome. Leave a comment below. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I was supposed to circle back to. And it's Mercury retrograde. I'm sorry. I'll pin a comment if I remember on this episode. But thank you guys so much for coming. And I'm enjoying the journey and love your input. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys because I just frankly don't have the time. Nor do I want to sit through all the interviews. So y'all are like my feedback loop. You give me the feedback that I need. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Bye.